Sorry, did you say something to me?
They took me till 5 this morning. I heard. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Basement, I guess.
Joining me on stage today as part of the platform party are Acadia's Chancellor, Dr. Nancy McCain, President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Jeff Hennessy, Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Ashley Consolo, Chair of the Board of Governors, Henry Damone, President of Acadia Divinity College and Dean of Theology, Dr. Anna Robbins, University Chaplain, Reverend Dr. Marjorie Lewis, Mayor of the Town of Wolfville, Jody McKay, MLA Julie Van Exen, and past President Dr. Peter Ricketts. There are also two guests in the front row wearing academic regalia, and we will save those introductions for later. We begin our ceremony today by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq Nation. The territory is covered by the treaties
of peace and friendship, which Mi'kmaq, Wolastoqiyik, and Passamaquoddy peoples first signed with the British Crown in 1725 and 1726. The treaties did not deal with surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Aboriginal title and established the rules for what was going to be an ongoing relationship between nations. Acadia is committed to growing and nurturing this relationship and working to fulfill the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action for post-secondary education. Some graduates are wearing hooded cap gowns with bright red stoles. These caps were hand-beaded by each Indigenous student with the guidance of local Mi'kmaq artisan Karen Beals. Indigenous students were also gifted smudge kits that includes a feather, a smudge bowl, and 4 traditional medicines of sage, tobacco, sweetgrass, and cedar. Indigenous people smudge to purify the body, mind, and spirit, using sacred smoke to cleanse negative and emotions. It is a deeply rooted culture and spiritual ceremony that creates balance, harmony, and a connection with the spiritual realm. These smudge kits were gifted to graduates before convocation by our elders on campus. We invite Acadia's Elder in Residence, Dr. Joe Michael, to the podium if he is present to deliver an address. Today, we acknowledge the existence of people of African descent in Nova Scotia. We recognize the African Nova Scotians are a distinct peoples whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched the part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. We honor them and offer our gratitude to the 52 historic multi-generational Black communities in Nova Scotia that have shaped the diverse landscape of Canada. During today's ceremony, some graduates are wearing kente cloth stole draped over their academic gown. Originating from the Ewe and Akan peoples of Ghana and Toga, kente cloth carries a weaving tradition stretching back over 400 years, a textile that materialized the spoken wisdom of Proverbs, where every color and pattern serves as a form of communication. Today, people of African descent around the world wear kente cloth to celebrate shared heritage, perseverance, and joy. The stoles worn by our students were designed and hand-woven by our partners in Ghana. When Black students wear kente stoles, they transform their bodies into living, breathing proverbs, telling the story of their journey, their ancestors' sacrifices, and the community that carried them here. This stole is a symbol not only of excellence, but of resilience and hope for the future. We now invite Acadia's chaplain, Reverend Dr. Lewis, to the podium to deliver a greeting.
Dear friends, Convocation is always a joy and a highlight of the work of the team at Acadia University. The leadership team, faculty members, staff, some working behind the scenes whose work really is essential for us to survive and to flourish. Perhaps I'll say a little bit about my role. You will notice I'm wearing a very strange looking stole. This is an interfaith stole, signifying that my role in the university is as an interfaith chaplain. And what that means is that as a Christian minister, I perform Christian rituals, and I also serve to help in the nurture of the spirituality of all within the community, whatever that spiritual foundation is. My role is also to help to foster conversation and collaboration among people of all faiths and of no faiths, because we are all human beings and members of the human family and need to work together to build justice, peace, and well-being. So from this perspective, and with great joy, I offer congratulations to the graduating class of 2026, to parents, friends, family members, mentors, well-wishers who gather here, those who are unable to make it, but who still hold our graduates in their hearts. Congratulations, class of 2026. We are happy to celebrate with you. I invite you just for a minute or so to reflect on nature and nature's prospects for human flourishing and the opportunities offered by nature for us to experience harmony with all that exists. We especially give thanks for the fauna and flora of the Wabanaki Acadian forest region, birthing for us a sense of beauty, awe, wonder, and scientific knowledge. We give thanks for Creator, the mystery beyond to which nature points. We give thanks for human capacity to safeguard nature and to safeguard our relations. For these and all good gifts, for our human potential and possibility to build a wonderful future, for the part that our graduates will be playing in building this wonderful future. We give thanks.
Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the faculty, members of the Board of Governors, members of the University Senate, members of the university staff and administration, families and loved ones, and students of the class of 2026. Welcome to the best day of the year at Acadia, Spring Convocation. This is the culmination of our academic year where we come together as a community to celebrate this life-changing achievement of our graduates. And when we welcome back the families and the loved ones who set them on this journey with us, however many years ago. I love our convocation at Acadia. I love this 100-year-old room draped with the flags of the countries of origin of our students. I'm sorry about the wooden seats. Comfort was less of a priority in the 1920s, apparently, when this building was built. There's a certain charm to it, though, I think. I love that this tradition at Acadia is almost 2 centuries old. Our first graduating class was 21 students, and our 1,000+ graduates today and tomorrow are linked to them and all the graduates since throughout history. I love that we put on these colorful robes and funny hats that tell stories about our academic journeys and signify our choice to commit to a life in the service of knowledge, truth, justice, and youth. And mostly, of seeing our graduating students march in as a class, across the road, through the campus, cheered on outside by our staff and Wolfville community members, into Convocation Hall, and then one by one, ascend the stage to receive their degrees with some kind of combined feeling of, I can't believe this day is here, and I can't believe how fast it all went. Now, Acadia was founded over 188 years ago, and our origin story in many ways defines who we are. The story goes, there was a plan to build a new non-denominational university in Halifax to be named after Lord Dalhousie in the late 1830s. A learned Baptist named Reverend Edmund Crawley was promised a seat on the faculty. But then later, the Board of Governors decided to refuse to allow any Baptists to be Dalhousie professors. So much for non-denominational. The Baptist Education Society here in the Valley responded swiftly to this outrage and said, fine, we'll build our own university. Community members brought wood and nails and their own labor and ingenuity to erect buildings on the site of the Horton Academy in Wolfville, which had been established 10 years prior as a Baptist preparatory school. And originally we were called the Queen's College, until Queen Victoria found out there was a university of dissidents using her name and refused to allow it. We then became Acadia College and then Acadia University. And while there was initial agreement that Acadia should be a university open to anyone regardless of their background, there was disagreement on the curriculum. Crawley was educated in the liberal arts tradition and advocated for a curriculum based on that foundation, Greek, Latin, rhetoric, mathematics. In the purest sense of the word liberal, they strove for a program of study that could liberate their students through knowledge and thus promote freedom and democracy. But some of the other founders, John Pryor, Isaac Chipman, John Mockett Cramp, and Artemis Sawyer, imagined a university that was also responsive to the issues of the day, the problems of the world, and the region it served. And thus began the beautiful marriage of applied and liberal, community-engaged education that has made Acadia the place to exercise your brain, examine your life and human existence, and to apply that critical thinking to making a tangible impact on community, country, and the world. We educate thinkers and doers, and as our origin story suggests, we're pretty scrappy. Throughout our history, we have not accepted the world as it is, especially if it benefits a few at the expense of many others. And that spirit permeates Acadia from its founding, and even prior to that. When the Baptist Society first met in Wolfville to establish an education system, there were 5 sisters from Chester who decided there would be no meeting without their presence and the voices of women. So they walked to Wolfville from Chester. Now, for those of you who don't know Nova Scotia well, that's like walking to here from Halifax, except across the width of the province, through the woods, over the Horton Mountain in the 1820s, without the road system that we have today. Those sisters would be heard. Our graduates, our faculty, our university, our community are committed to leading, to change, and to making a better world through education. We will be heard. You will be heard. This convocation is also a special one for me personally this year. Every year the registrar, he's hiding back there, we both hand sign each parchment for each graduate. You will see handwritten signatures at the bottom of your degrees when you get them. No auto pen, no AI. We do things personally here. The downside of that is, in my case, it looks like a 2-year-old got a hold of a black pen and scribbled on your degree. My apologies for that, but there are over 1,000 parchments and it requires some expediency at the expense of aesthetics. When I sign the degrees, I of course look at the names and the degrees achieved. And this year, I was so happy to see names of so many of you whom I've known since you were little kids. Since you were little goofballs running around with my son at Building Blocks Preschool and Wolfville School, Horton High, honor choir, football, basketball, all the things we put our kids through. I know your parents and families. I may have received a text or two from some of them over the past few years. And I am so privileged to be able to share this moment with you and with them. I also earlier this week was able to attend my son Rory's convocation. So after almost 20 years of doing convocations, I finally experienced convocation as a parent. And I now know what many of you here today and who are watching from the live stream at home are going through and are thinking. When my son crossed the stage Monday, I immediately thought back to when he was a baby. I remembered the moment we brought him home from the hospital, walked into our flat in Halifax with him for the first time. The memory is so vivid to me. He was only a few days old, but he opened his eyes and he looked around in wonder at where he was, and I immediately started crying. And you might think that I was crying happy tears at this amazing moment. And there was some of that. But I was also thinking, this is the first day of his new life in his new home, and one day he's going to leave and go to university, and I'm going to be devastated. This is what I thought. I was already grieving him leaving home his first day. What I didn't think in that moment was how it would feel when he graduated from university after leaving home. This is probably a good thing. That's a lot of pressure to put on a 2-day-old. Poor kid. Between his mother and me, we have 7 degrees. He didn't stand a chance. He said at 3 years old, "Daddy, I want to be a pilot." I said, "Great, let's find a university degree program for that," when he was 3. Well, he's now a pilot and he has a degree, so we both stuck to our convictions. And when he crossed that stage, I felt, of course, pride and love and joy, but also respect. Respect that he'd achieved something significant, like you have all done today. And I hope you will reflect on the fact that you did not get here alone. Many of you have families, friends, and personal connections who believed in you and provided emotional, practical, maybe even financial support for you to get here. The faculty of the university, many of whom are on this stage behind me to bear witness and celebrate your achievement, challenged you and created the opportunity for you to learn and grow and get to this stage. We have the greatest staff here, people who work behind the scenes because they believe in what we do and want to help students succeed. This entire day would not be possible without them. I was in the office late last night, and when I left, there was still staff in the hall here making sure everything was ready for you and for us. And of course, your fellow classmates who traveled with you on this journey. A community helped you get to this stage, and it's important to acknowledge that and pay that forward one day to someone else. But I also hope that you look in the mirror after this is over and say to yourself, I did a thing. I accomplished something substantial. It may have been hard work, there may have been setbacks along the way, you may not have loved every minute of your time with us, but your Acadia degree is yours. No one can take it away from you. It now becomes part of your identity that follows you and announces your achievement to the world. And I can tell you now with authority, having experienced this as a parent, that your people, your families, friends, loved ones, your university community respect you even more now for this accomplishment. So take a bit of time to absorb that respect and be proud of yourself. You earned it. I'm going to offer you a bit more advice, and then I'm going to ask 2 things of you to the graduating class. My advice: you probably set a goal to finish this degree, and that probably went along with other goals you set for yourself and continue to set for yourself. Some goals you have achieved or will achieve, others you haven't or won't. Goal setting, of course, is important and provides structure to your professional and personal lives. I set many goals for myself over my life. Some I achieved, some I didn't. Becoming a university president was never a goal I set for myself when I was a kid. What kid would ever dream of that? I wanted to be a medical doctor. All growing up, that's what I imagined for myself. I pursued an undergrad degree in science and even volunteered at a hospital in my first year. I then discovered that I was kind of a germaphobe and didn't like being around sick people. This became a serious career-limiting revelation. I was also very clumsy in the lab. In my second year, I dissolved an entire chemistry lab manual by spilling highly concentrated sulfuric acid all over it, cleared out the whole room with the fumes. There were signs that I was on the wrong path. That goal was not to be realized. I pursued a music degree here at Acadia. I wanted to be a film composer originally. In the 90s, that meant moving to Los Angeles, and that was not something that I saw for myself. So I adjusted that goal. I wanted to be a rock star, traveling the world, rocking out to millions of adoring fans. To be honest, I still haven't given up on that goal. If any of you out there work for a major record label, I have some amazing demo cassettes up from the 90s back at the house. You got to hear them. Kids are going to love them these days. I hadn't thought about an academic career, but during grad school I was offered the opportunity to teach a few music courses here at Acadia, and suddenly I had a new goal. My life path was set. I didn't want to do anything else, and I didn't want to be anywhere else. I set a new goal, and the reason this became the goal that stuck was that it corresponded with something more important in my goals, and that was my values. So my advice is to define your values. What kind of person do you want to be? What do you believe in? How do you want to carry yourself in the world? Achieving goals but not paying attention to your values will never feel satisfying. I had no idea I would ever be a university president, but I did know I believed in higher education and that it fit with my own value system, and that this field would allow me to be the person I wanted to be. The goals came and went, some achieved, some not, but every day we can practice our values, and at the end of every day I can ask myself, was I kind today? Was I honest today? Was I a supportive teammate today? Was I a good leader today? Was I a good partner today? Was I a good dad today? Some days the answer is no, not really. But the great thing about values is you can't really fail at them, because even if you don't live up to them one day, you can just try again the next. They are enduring, they make the achievements richer, and the disappointments easier to accept. So my advice is to define whom you want to be as a person, your values, and make that your most important priority, and set your goals within that framework. So that's my advice. Here are my requests. My first request: all of you came to Acadia from different backgrounds, different levels of privilege, and with different life stories. You're all leaving here with something in common, though, an Acadia degree. I'm not in any way implying that this will ensure all your experiences will be equitable and fair going forward, or that this accomplishment nullifies privilege, but it is something. It gives you a platform. The degree can be a foundation from which to build a life and a career, and my request is that you use it to do something bigger than yourself. It doesn't have to be revolutionary. You don't have to become a renowned and accomplished artist like soon-to-be Dr. Holly Carr, or a future president of the Acadia Divinity College like Dr. Harry Gardner, both of whom we are so excited to soon honor with an honorary doctorate. But if every one of you makes some kind of contribution, it can be world-changing. And we're going to need you. The world has problems: war and conflict, poverty, hunger and food insecurity, inequity and racism, and of course the climate crisis. You may actually be the last generation who can address that problem. And I'm sorry that you are inheriting these messes, but I'm asking you to think about how you can use this achievement today to make a difference in the world, because that's the Acadia way. We want you to have wonderful, rich, exemplary lives, but we also want you to use your education in the service of humanity and to the world. So that's my first request. My second request is something I've never done before. Usually I stop at one, but now being a parent of a graduating student made me realize your generation can handle two requests. So sometime in the next 1, 2, 5, 10 years, you're going to look back at your time in Acadia, and you're going to realize the totality of what this experience provided for you. You may not remember specific pieces of information. You might not remember your Plato or Shakespeare or Foucault or Judith Butler. You may forget how to cite something or how to conduct a research project. Theology grads, you may not remember every piece of scripture you ever studied. But you will realize you gained more than just information. The process of learning those things allowed you to learn how to learn. You gained experience with analyzing data critically, communication, teamwork, deep thinking, critical evaluation of information, understanding humans, understanding the planet and our impact on it, generally being more informed, engaged citizens, developing a network. Most of you will realize this eventually if you haven't already. And I'm not asking you to tell us when you realize that. You're going to do that anyway. In a few minutes, you'll become Acadia alumni. You'll get a special pin from members of our Alumni Association and staff, and you will join a network of almost 50,000 living alumni around the world, thousands of whom stay connected to us because they know how important we were in their lives. Your relationship to Acadia will last forever. So I don't need to ask you to remind us of the impact Acadia had on you. Many of you will do that anyway. I'm asking you to tell others. Tell the world. Tell the media. Tell your elected representatives wherever you come from. Tell parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, workmates, people in your community to tell other people the value of your undergraduate experience. I'm asking you to do this because universities are under siege right now. The value of this experience, this education, is being questioned around the world. And some of this we can fix. We can design programs and communicate their values so that students and the world can truly see what we do. But without public support for us, we are going to continue to be in trouble. And people will listen to you. The public will listen to our alumni. You speak with authority. So we need you to tell that story. You will be heard. Acadia was founded because this community believed they would fall behind other communities without their own college. It was vital to the building of a healthy and connected society here. Across Canada, dozens of universities were built around the country's centennial because small cities and towns knew they would fall behind without them. They needed a pathway to educate their citizens, to build their communities. And Canada needed a network of universities to not fall behind other nations. I was born in Peterborough, Ontario. A university opened in that town in 1964 when it was a growing factory town. And here's a fun fact. The workers at the local General Electric factory, including my grandfather in Peterborough, donated a piece of their wages every week to build Trent University. My father left the factory job when I was a young boy to take a chance on education. And this changed the entire trajectory of my life and my family. And it could not have happened without a university. My dad's here today. He came from my son's convocation this week, but he also wanted to come to one of ours as well because he's proud of me, but also because he's grateful to Acadia and to universities like Acadia for the opportunities they gave my family and continue to give to others. So tell our story. We're going to need all your help as we chart our path towards our 200th anniversary in 2038. That's only 12 years from now, and those students are already in grade 1. We need you to think about them. What kind of university will we be? What kind of world will they inherit? And as you're ready to hire them when they graduate, how will you have made their world better? To the class of 2026, I wish you wonderful lives, great happiness, and a fulfilling adventure. Thank you for trusting us with your education. And thank you for your rich contributions to Acadia while you were here. Stay connected and keep in touch. You won't have much of a choice because we're going to find you wherever you go. Our staff are very good at that. Be kind, even to the people with whom you disagree. Be curious, keep learning, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Thank you all.
Good morning, everyone. Graduates, families, friends, faculty, and all who have gathered here today in beautiful Wolfville to celebrate this unforgettable milestone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sophie Vertanis, and I have the absolute privilege of standing before you as the 2026 Grad Class Life President. It feels a bit surreal to be here, closing such an important chapter of a chapter of our lives in a place that has truly become home. It feels like just yesterday that we arrived at Acadia, stepping into a brand new chapter of our stories. When we first came to Wolfville, everything felt overwhelming. From trying to find our classes on the first day and inevitably getting lost, trying to make friends while balancing the demands of school, it was a lot. But over time, without even realizing, something changed. We became comfortable walking around campus without checking a map. We found our routines, we found our community, and perhaps most importantly, we found ourselves. Along the way, we also found people who quickly stopped feeling like strangers and started feeling like family. People we studied beside in silence for hours, laughed with when we absolutely should have been studying, and leaned on during moments when things felt too heavy. Somehow, in between assignments, exams, and everyday chaos, we built connections that will last far beyond these 4 years. For years, we wished for this day to come. We crossed off dates on our calendars and counted down the days to graduation. But now that it's here, I can't help but to feel a little sad. Because today not only marks an achievement, it also means saying goodbye to friends who feel like family and to a place that has shaped us in ways we may not fully understand yet. Acadia is not just a school, it's an experience, and one that we have all been fortunate enough to share. It's the friends we made here, the professors we connected with, the late night study sessions in the library, the early morning coffees at Just Us, and the endless walks across campus that became second nature. It was walking through town and always running into someone you know. It was sitting in a cafe just to escape the stress for a little while, probably longer than we should have. It was the climb up the hill after a long day of classes where we joked about barely making it to the top, but still somehow did every time. And it was standing together at Raymond Field during homecoming, packed shoulder to shoulder, feeling like, for once, everyone was exactly where they were supposed to be. Those moments might seem small on their own, but together, they built the foundation of our experience here. Acadia is a place we have all been lucky enough to call home. As we celebrate here today, I want to take a moment to draw your attention to the Class of 2026 banner right above me here. This banner reflects the ideas that I've talked about perfectly. Designed by graduate Schuyler Webb, the class banner captures the beauty of Acadia's campus in the heart of Wolfville and reflects the strong sense of community that makes this place so special. It's a meaningful reminder of the home we've built here together. Thank you, Schuyler, for sharing your talents and creating something that represents all of us so well. Each one of us came to Acadia with one focus: earning a degree. But as we moved through our programs, we gained far more than just what our textbooks could teach us. We learned how to live independently. We learned how to fail and how to be okay with it, most of the time. We learned resilience, responsibility, and who we truly are. While we are leaving here with knowledge and credentials, we are also leaving with something just as valuable: growth that no GPA can measure. We learned how to show up for each other, how to celebrate the wins, big and small, how to sit with someone in their hardest moments without needing to fix anything, and how to build a sense of belonging in a place that once felt so unfamiliar. This is something truly special, and it is something we will carry with us long after today. As you sit here today, I encourage you to pause and truly take in this moment. Years from now, when we have careers and families of our own, these memories will still live quietly in the back of our minds. Reminders of a special and transformative time in our lives. While we are closing one chapter today, there is still an entire book waiting to be written. To the friends and family who supported us and cheered us on, thank you. To the staff and faculty who challenged us, guided us, and believed in us, thank you. You have helped shape us into the people that we are today. But finally, I want each of you to take a moment to thank yourselves. Thank yourself for your perseverance, your strength, and your commitment. Thank yourself for continuing even when it felt difficult. You should be immensely proud, not only of the degrees you have earned, but of the people you have become and are still becoming. Do not take for granted what you have accomplished, or a version of yourself that you worked so hard to build along the way. While saying goodbye is inevitable at the end of this journey, remember the wise words of Winnie the Pooh. How lucky are we to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? These goodbyes are hard because of the special memories we each made along the way. While we say goodbye here today, this is not a forever goodbye. We now move into our role as Acadia alumni. Our legacy will continue on Acadia's beautiful campus through the Class of 2026 gift. We are proud to contribute to the new Student Center courtyard with furniture designed to create a welcoming space for students to gather, connect, and recharge. This gift reflects our commitment to fostering community and enhancing campus life. creating a space where friendships will be built, ideas shared, and memories made for years to come. So, as we leave Wolfville and watch Exit 10 fade in our rearview mirrors, my hope is that every time we return, it feels like coming home. Because we will always be a part of Acadia University. To the class of 2026, congratulations, we did it.
Will the candidate for the Doctor of Ministry degree please stand? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree Doctor of Ministry that graduate whose name will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that he may receive the degree at your hands.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Ministry with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree.
Jeremy Justin Ning.
Will the candidates for the degree Master of Arts, Theology please stand? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Master of Arts, Theology, those graduates whose names will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that they may receive the degree at your hands.
I admit you to the degree of Master of Arts, Theology with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree.
Martha Chevalier. Abosede Alatundum Samuel. Paula Emily Mary Willis.
Will the candidates for the degree Master of Divinity please stand? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Master of Divinity those graduates whose names will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that they may receive the degree at your hands.
I admit you to the degree of Master of Divinity with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree.
Patrick Wayne Callahan. Daniel James Flower. Joshua Daniel John Daniel Raja.
Congratulations.
Vipin Surendran Joseph. Oliver David Locke. Madam Chancellor, the university's silver medal in theology is awarded at Convocation to the top all-round Master of Divinity or Master of Arts in Theology graduating student at Acadia Divinity College. Oliver David Locke is this year's recipient. Margaret Mensa. Stephen Teru Jorogo. Olusegun Moses Ulipse. Siobhan Parr. Michael Andy Prosnick. Angela Marie Percy.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Theology please stand? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Theology those graduates whose names will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that they may receive the degree at your hands.
I admit you to the degree of Bachelor of Theology with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree.
Haley Campbell. Jackson Carter Culberson. Patricia Mary Lucy Jonet. Reuben Jonathan Dixon. Aidan Andrew Hatchert. Lise Sayer Hillhorst. Madam Chancellor, as this is today's first bronze medal to be awarded, we'd like to remind you that these graduates receiving bronze medals today are the students who had the highest average in their discipline. Today's University Medal in Theology to Lise Sayer Hillhorst. Nathaniel Jones. Ty Andrew McLaughlin. Gladys Claudia Delbois. Lydia Hope Martin. Lexi Janine McDowell. Riley Samuel Palmer.
Will the candidates for the Master of Arts degree please stand? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Master of Arts those graduates whose names will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honor that they may receive the degree at your hands.
I admit you to the degree of Master of Arts with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree.
Anthony John Harding. Ruby Olivia Harrington. Erica Lorraine Pinio. Daniel Sonite Filho. Jocelyn Emma Wooden.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours please rise? Madam Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours those graduates whose names will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honour that they may receive the degree at your hand.
I admit you to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with honors, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree.
Landon Robert Augustine. Logan Alexandra Butler. Zahide Cam. Eva Sofia Copas. Tegan Sharon Jean Daly. Sarah Leanne Ferguson. Malia Ilian Alberta Gibson. Courtney Sarah Green. Krista Jean Hamilton. Katrina Marie Lamontagne Haynes. Hannah Myrtle Ann Hejadal. Brittany Grace Pulsifer Hiltz. Madam Chancellor, Brittany Grace is this year's recipient of the University Medal in Law and Society. Yasir Khalid Jawad. Madam Chancellor, Yas is receiving a Golden A award. This award is given to graduating students who maintain a sound academic standing, display outstanding qualities of leadership and character, and make a significant contribution to university life. Congratulations, Yas. Remy Johnston. Lark Law. Madam Chancellor, Lark is the recipient of this year's University Medal in Philosophy and this year's University Medal in Politics. Congratulations. Nicholas Eaton Lundrigan. Madam Chancellor, Nicholas is this year's recipient of the University Medal in Women's and Gender Studies. Alexandra Irene McConnell. Kenaz Neazi. Alexander, oh, so sorry, I'm so sorry. Angel Kana Diamond Percenti. Cameron Michael Reno. Valenco Savio Fernandez. Adam Shinuda. Charlie Amaya Seiler. Madam Chancellor, the Hayward Silver Medal is awarded at Convocation to the graduating student from the Faculty of Arts whose standing is closest to that of the Governor General's medalist. Congratulations, Charlie. Paige Caroline Top Walsh. Madam Chancellor, Paige is the recipient of the University Medal in Economics. Alexa Barbara Elizabeth Wilcox.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? Madam Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Arts those graduates whose names will be announced, whom the Senate has duly declared worthy of the honour that they may receive the degree at your hand.
I admit you to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree.
Paige Elizabeth Aker. Jordan Ann Adler. Ashley Dawn Armstrong. Madam Chancellor, Ashley is this year's recipient of the University Medal in Sociology. Taylor Jane Marie Baggs. Niobe Joy Baird. Shaughnessy Grace Bartow. Kira Jade Bishop. Matthew Lauren Brown. Samantha Maria Burke. Amelia Campbell Prest. Valentina Orozco Castro. Emma Catherine Charland. Rachel Elizabeth Clayton. Aidan Thomas Corkin. Shay Alexander McNaught Cowan. William John Croft. Asia Rhonda Elizabeth Dawson. Jasmine Eve Kristen Day. Aslan Elijah Aspen de Corte. Hillary Joy Dorman. Marie Daniel Angeline Dulay. Haley Ashton Elliott. Jennifer Lynn Ernst. Brody Pierce Finnegan. Deja Nadia Nicole Forbes. Madeline May Godet. Genevieve Sedona Graves. Jenna Lauren Green. Colin Riker Haight. Rebecca Claire Halliburton. Abigail Mildred Cuneen Harper. Logan Alexander Joseph Hartland. Amber Joyce Haslem. Grace Elizabeth Henshaw. Emma Grace Hill McMillan. Abigail Leslie Horn. Emily Marie Horton. Pieram Noor Kaur. Madam Chancellor. Madam Chancellor. Pieram is this year's recipient of the University Medal in Environmental and Sustainability Studies. Jasmine Kosla. Grace Clements Larkin. Mederick Michael La Rochelle Compton.
Okay, that's a big name. Congratulations.
Laura Lee LaSalle. Madam Chancellor. Laura Lee is this year's recipient of the University Medal in English.
Okay, the obvious question, who's your favorite author?
Shayla Kathleen Logan. Victoria Ashley Mailman. Madam Chancellor. Victoria is this year's recipient of the University Medal in Classics. McKenna Audrey Marshall. Megan Elizabeth Marshall. Trissa Matheson Holmes. Catherine Ada Matatal. Julia Grace McDonald. Lily Catherine McHugh. Kaylin Simone McKay.
Okay, you get a lot of friends right there. Congratulations.
Emily Chantel McClellan. Tess Emma Melanson. Max Ray Miller. Madam Chancellor. Madam Chancellor, Max is this year's recipient of the University Medal in Theatre. Amelia Kayla Robert Brown. Oh, Robert Moore. I apologize. Robert Moore. Mary Rose Mosca. Ava Murphy. Lily Grace Murphy. Tanner Joseph Nickerson. Michael Daniel Nixon. Madison Dawn Noyles. Shannon Kathleen Parfit. Jordan Allen Picard. Annika Dawn Christine Pochka.
Congratulations.
Alec London Priddle.
Congratulations,
Samuel Quinlan.
congratulations. You got some fans up there.
Mary Elizabeth Redmond. Emily Dawn Richardson. Shelby Ann Rideout. Max Paul Matthew Rogers. Kate Rosen. Hogan Joseph Rovers. Kayla Lucy Russell. Tyler William Sampson. Abigail Lynn Sauvé. Eva Scaravelli. Jamie Lee Scott Barter. Matea Noel Amelia Sexton. Sterling Denton Shannon. Daniel Rodney Elisha Simmons. Grace Olivia Parnell Smith. Paige Olivia Smith. Michaela Jenny Schmisnook. Grace Lynn Snow.
Congratulations.
Elise Stillman. Natalie Suzanne Stokes. Jenna Michelle Simmons. Kate Talon. Emma Taylor. Ariel Yvette Thibault. Caroline Elizabeth May Tompkins Griffiths, Madam Chancellor. Caroline Elizabeth is this year's recipient of the University Medal in History. Taylor Grace Toole. Isaac Treadwell. Gwyneth Tubman. Esther Audrey Ullman. Kira Voss. Cameron Elizabeth Wilson. Sean Paul Michael Walker. Miles Wesley Nicole Wall.
That's a very big name you've got. Congratulations.
Schuyler Eileen Ann Webb. Nathaniel Frederick Solomon Wickens. Colton James Wilmot. Gabrielle Lloyd Edwards. Addison Ride.
Madam Chancellor, I ask that you confer the appropriate degree in absentia on those whose names appear on the graduation list but who are unable to attend the convocation.
Conferred in absentia.
Madam Chancellor, the name of Debbie Tawney is listed amongst her fellow graduates of the class of 2026. Deb passed away before completing her degree of the Bachelor of Arts, majoring in politics. For everyone who knew her, Deb's indomitable spirit, deep love for Acadia, and commitment to her community remain an inspiration for all who are lucky enough to meet and learn from her. We honor Deb today by conferring her degree, and we invite members of Deb's family to join us on stage to accept her degree on her behalf. And we honor her family and community who are here today. Please stand if you are able. Congratulations to Deb, her family, and her community. You may be seated now. Thank you. I now have the wonderful honor of announcing this year's Acadia Alumni Association Student of the Year Award, who is Ms. Kate Bagnall. Kate epitomizes the Acadia spirit and has made extensive institutional, academic, and personal impacts during her 4 years here. In Kate's first year as a Bachelor of Business Administration student, she identified a critical gap in the professional support systems for women in business and co-founded the Acadia Women in Business Society. Under her leadership as president, this society has flourished into the largest student organization within the Manning School of Business and supports over 100 members with professional development and networking opportunities and a really amazing annual Women in Business banquet. She also established the Acadia Women in Business Award, a $1,000 scholarship to support future female business leaders, a legacy that will continue on long after her graduation. Please join me in congratulating Kate on this most well-deserved award. This is one of my favorite parts of Convocation, where we get to thank all the wonderful faculty members that made this day possible. I'd like to ask all faculty members who are on the platform and in the audience to please stand to be recognized. Graduates, during your time here at Acadia, you have been mentored, challenged, supported, and inspired by all the faculty you see here today and who are unable to join us. I am confident that you, your family, and your loved ones appreciate your faculty's deep commitment to your growth and your development. As Provost and Vice President Academic, I have the privilege and the pleasure to witness the dedication, creativity, and commitment of all the faculty here at Acadia, and to see the passion and the brilliance they bring each and every day. So thank you, everyone, and please join me in acknowledging their significant contributions to your education and your futures. I am also delighted to be able to announce the Acadia Alumni Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching, which recognizes a continued record of excellence in teaching students and future alumni of Acadia University with a focus on the faculty members' professional and teaching accomplishments. Candidates for this award must be current full-time, part-time, or contract members of the teaching faculty and have taught at Acadia for at least 3 years. This year, I am delighted to announce that this year's most deserving recipient is Dr. Alice Cohen. Alice, please stand up. For those who have had the opportunity to learn with Alice, she's a professor who does not just deliver a curriculum, but actively shapes the next generation of environmental leaders with passion, empathy, brilliance, and deep-rooted commitment to interdisciplinary discovery. As the coordinator of the Environmental and Sustainability Studies program, Alice is described by her students and colleagues alike as a changemaker, a relationship builder, and a mentor, and someone deeply committed to research and teaching excellence. Congratulations, Alice. The title of Emerita and Emeritus is an honor conferred upon a retiring or recently retired professor who is recognized for a distinguished academic career and exemplary service to Acadia University. This year, we have 2 Professor Emeriti, who are Professor Gregory McKinnon from the School of Education and Professor Dawn Stewart from the Department of Biology. Please join me in congratulating these exemplary scholars as they receive this very fitting and very well-deserved honor.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Harry Gardner for the degree of Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa. Reverend Dr. Harry Gardner's lifetime of service represents an extraordinary contribution to the church and to community, to theological education, and to Acadia University. Leadership is in Harry's DNA. Wherever he goes, he's looked to for his wisdom, his discernment, and his good humor. And as a graduate of Acadia Divinity College and later as its president and dean of theology from 2008 to 2019, he has embodied the highest ideals of faithful Christian leadership, academic excellence, and pastoral devotion. Harry served in the pastorate. He went to work for the Atlantic Baptists in home mission work before becoming the executive minister, a role he served in with excellence before he became the president of ADC. And that's just a short summary. In his capacity as president and dean of theology, he faithfully refined curriculum and expanded research opportunities to provide a spiritually robust and foundational learning experience for students. In recognition of his far-reaching contributions, the Board of Trustees named him President Emeritus of the Divinity College in 2021. Harry's influence has extended well beyond Atlantic Canada through North American Baptist Fellowship, through the Baptist World Alliance. He is considered a leader of leaders. through his denominational leadership, that wider engagement, and significant service with the Association of Theological Schools, the Commission on Accrediting, which he chaired, and also participated in the committee that redrew the standards of theological schools across North America. In all of these situations, his counsel and leadership have been deeply valued. And throughout his ministry, Harry has been widely sought for his wisdom in conflict resolution, his steady guidance in times of institutional change, and his ability to strengthen organizational structures with clarity and grace. Yet above all else, Harry is known as a pastor. Over decades of preaching, mentoring, and pastoral care in congregations, classrooms, funerals, moments of quiet encouragement, Harry has demonstrated a rare gift for making each person feel seen, heard, and valued. He's deeply loved for his compassion, humility, and genuine concern for everyone he meets. And as we heard last night, he has the sort of face that when he talks with you, you want to tell him everything. Through all of this, we are delighted to honor Harry. We can't think of anyone more deserving of this recognition, though he would never seek it for himself. We are delighted to have this recommendation today. And so, Madam Chancellor, it is my privilege to present to you Harry Gardner, that he may receive honor at your hand.
I need to speak. By the authority vested in me by the Senate of Acadia University, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. I need to get on the other side, see if I can figure out how to put this on. Stop. Okay. Okay. Oh. Yeah, much better. Thank you. Oh, you look great. There you go. Hold on. You go that one, I think.
Here. Sometimes we need to be told exactly where to be. Thank you, Anna, for that. I will say, I arrived one evening after a particularly difficult meeting, and I was sharing with some of my friends that it was a difficult meeting. I went on and on about it, apparently. They listened quietly, and finally my friend said to me, Harry, it's about time you realize not everybody loves that little round face of yours. Madam Chancellor McCain, President and Vice Chancellor Hennessy, honored platform guests, members of the Board of Governors, faculty and staff, especially today, graduates, your family, your friends, all who've gathered here. I receive this honor with deep thanks and an overflowing heart of gratitude from my beloved Acadia University. 49 years ago, I sat in one of those front rows receiving a Master of Divinity degree. I could never have anticipated the wonderful journey that was ahead for me, and I wish all of you the same. Recently, I was invited to be a guest speaker at a retreat for young pastoral leaders. I asked them, why me? I was told, you have a lot of experience as you look in the rearview mirror compared to us, and we're interested in your perspective as we move forward. I was so encouraged during those days by the vision and hope in those young leaders, and I am equally encouraged by the graduates in this room today. You too have gained perspective through your education at Acadia University. A friend told me about a woman that he had met more than 30 years ago. She lived in a small, remote, rural community in Saskatchewan. She had the trip of a lifetime and returned to her home after visiting family in the grand city of London, England. She was asked, "How did you enjoy London?" She replied, "Oh, I suppose it was okay, but you know, it's so far away from everything." Perspective. Perspective. My wife and I have lived in various places, but we have returned often to a small patch of land on the North Mountain near Berwick. I love to sit on the deck of our small travel trailer on a dark, cloudless night without the distraction of streetlights and peer out into space and wonder about the stars and try to grasp something of the vastness of it all. This brings perspective to me. Did you know that our Milky Way galaxy within this universe is a wispy white ribbon filled with more than 1 billion stars? Scientists tell me that with my natural vision, I can count up to 2,000 stars. But with the help of advanced technology and brilliant telescopes, I will see much more than I could ever see by myself. And that is the value of education. Recently, I was captivated by the lunar flyby mission of Artemis II. I was inspired by the perspective of pilot Arthur Glover when he said, "You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth. But you are in a spaceship called Earth that was created to give us a place to live in this beautiful universe, in the cosmos. In all of this emptiness, you have this oasis, this beautiful place we get to exist together." End of quote. Perspective. Seeing the Earth as one unit in the darkness of space. Your educational perspective your educational experience has given you a fresh perspective as you launch out into your lives from here. The classroom learning, the engagement with professors, the new lifelong friendships, and all the rich experiences that you have had while you've been here. You are not the same as when you started here. You are more prepared to live in this beautiful world and contribute to it in wonderful ways than you could ever imagine as you sit here today. My interest in space and the vastness of the universe is not escapism. It provides me with a perspective that combats the rugged individualism propagated by big tech. Ray Ivany, a former president of Acadia University, said on more than one occasion as he stood and addressed grads at this convocation, he said, "Be persons of substance." Being a person of substance requires that we recognize the inherent value of every human being, as we seek by all means to celebrate and protect the worth of others. That we live out life not with perfection, but with integrity. That we speak into and act for the equality of all persons. That we loose chains of injustice. That we share our food with the hungry. That we provide for the stranger in our midst and break yokes of oppression, all for the good of the other. I have been a Christian person since my teenage years. I commend to you for your serious examination the person of Jesus, a person of substance. He has provided me with a perspective on God and humanity and with a greater purpose for life on this planet than I could ever have imagined. John Wesley, an 18th century Anglican priest and theologian, has this perspective which I offer you in conclusion. He said, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, to all the people you can, as long as you can. Congratulations to you all.
Will Holly Carr, the recipient of the Doctor of Humanities, please rise? It's a real honor as director and curator of the Acadia University Art Gallery, and someone who myself around 25 years ago crossed this very stage to read the introduction today. Holly Carr is a nationally acclaimed Nova Scotia artist who has dedicated her work to supporting mental health in young people. Her groundbreaking Light in the Forest art installation debuted at the Acadia University Art Gallery in 2013 and had a coming home in 2025. It began as an artistic exploration of her young son's anxiety and her own childhood fears. But years later, after a string of youth suicides in the Annapolis Valley, she revisited the project and developed it into a mental wellness initiative to destigmatize mental health issues, raise awareness around mental health resources, and promote wellness and self-care through art and nature. Light in the Forest has expanded into an award-winning children's book, an educational program for schools, a live multimedia presentation, and an app. The immersive production has toured the province and featured performances by the Nova Scotia Youth Orchestra and the Nova Scotia Honor Choir. Holly's work has been endorsed by the Nova Scotia Ministry of Mental Health and Addictions, the Canadian Mental Health Association, the RBC Foundation, and the Valley Regional Hospital Foundation. She's been recognized by the Women of Influence, and in November 2024, received the King Charles III Coronation Medal. In addition to developing and touring Light in the Forest, Holly recently launched the Story Trails Project in Portapique to help the community heal from the horrors of April 2020 and to foster hope, resilience, and connection. On a very personal note, I've been continually struck by the creative energy and the perseverance and the spirit of collaboration that Holly brings to all her projects. And I think these are qualities we really need to celebrate in this particular cultural, political times that we find ourselves. Madam Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you Holly Carr for the degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa, that she may receive at your hand.
By the authority vested in me by the Senate of Acadia University, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. We got this now. We need to do this now. Oh, yeah, it's much easier. Congratulations.
Now for something completely different. Thank you. Thank you all for this honor. It means so much to me and to my mom, who's sitting right there. I've been thinking a lot about what it takes to build a dream or accomplish a career goal. And it takes the obvious of hard work, dedication, and also I suggest considering failings, or what you think is a failing, as an opportunity to learn. But I think the other thing that's even, and believing in yourself, that's number one. But besides that, what I've discovered, and especially with the Light in the Forest project, has been it's important to find people who share your vision, or at least just find one person who believes in you. And I've been fortunate to have both of those. Okay. That person could also be like a family member, or they could be a partner or a friend, or maybe you haven't even met them yet. And that's pretty exciting. And they can also change because you're going to change and grow, and that's really exciting as well.
My kids are about 5 to 7 years, probably older than most of you, and are on their sort of career paths and goals. They both actually really love music and are actually great musicians. One thing I've discovered by working with this project is how important, not that I always knew it intuitively, but how important the arts are to your life. And it doesn't mean you have to make art. It can be just experiencing it. It kind of soothes the brain. And that's actually research, scientific research. That's not me just saying that, actually. My daughter wrote a song recently about her journey and sort of the same journey you're about to embark on. And she's looking back and she's reflecting on it, and she's thinking about all that it took to get where she is now, and all the people she's met, and about aging. She's just reflecting on that, and she's in that section of her life. So what I thought I would do, if you don't mind, if she was here, I would love for her to sing the song she wrote about this, but she's not, and I'm not particularly a great singer. So I'm going to read just a tiny little bit of her song for you that I think is poignant. She says, "I don't want to hold time. I want to unfold it, creating creases on my face from a million instances untraced. Can my life be like a book with thousands of pages, daunted to read it, to feel all the phases of your life? All you gained and all you lost, all you worked for and what it cost, all the people who helped you live, and all the people you'll forgive, all the people who look up to you, down on you, and through you, and then the few who really saw you." And so my advice is to find those people who really see you. That's the most important part. I think just making your life a nice, beautiful journey. And what I'm going to suggest is live your life in big and shiny as you can, with empathy and curiosity. And don't be afraid, because you're not alone. Because us, right here, all of us, we see you. We see all of you. And congratulations. This has been an honor. Thank you.
Well, good morning. It is still morning. We haven't hit the 12 o'clock yet, and we will be finished soon. And congratulations, class of 2026. It's so wonderful. This is like my favorite time of year. And to see all of you here, it's a very exciting day. Congratulations. And I want to say also, it really is such a privilege for me to stand in front of you as Chancellor of this university, and as someone who actually sat exactly where you are sitting. I was going to say not that long ago, but actually it was a very long time ago. But I do remember quite vividly having that feeling of pride and excitement, relief, uncertainty, certainly, about what was going to come next. And I will tell you that those feelings do not fade. They are truly part of the story that you take with you. Today is both an ending and a beginning. You leave here with a degree, but more importantly, you leave as part of something enduring, a lifelong community. The Acadia alumni family is not simply a network, it is a shared commitment to curiosity, to resilience, to community, and to purpose. That connection will matter more than you think. Because while the world you are entering is full of opportunity, it's also complex, and as we all know, it's quite unsettling these days. The path ahead won't be linear. You'll have to pivot. You'll face setbacks. You'll have to make decisions without perfect information. But here's what I hope you take with you. First, have the courage to engage. Don't stand on the sidelines. Lean into the challenges. Ask the hard questions. Be prepared to take thoughtful risks. Progress, whether in your career or in society comes from those willing to step forward. Second, invest in people and community. Your success will not be defined solely by what you do individually, but by what you help build around you. The relationships you've formed here, your friendships, your mentors, they're not incidental. They're foundational. Stay connected, support one another, lift others as you move forward. Third, lead with purpose and integrity. You'll face moments where the easy choice is not the right one. In those moments, your values matter. The habits of thought and character that you've developed here, those will guide you. Use them. And finally, remember the importance of giving back. Not just later when it's convenient, but as you go along. Your ideas, your resources, contributing to something larger than yourself will bring meaning to your own success. Now, I hope your time here gave you more than knowledge. I hope it gave you confidence in who you are, clarity in what matters to you, and a sense of the impact you want to have. Because I'm here to tell you, and you've heard it from everyone, the world needs you. Your energy, your compassion, and your perspective. And as you go forward, know this. Wherever you are, you carry with you the spirit of this place. And you remain part of this community, one that is proud of you and one that will always welcome you back. So take in this moment, celebrate what you've accomplished, and then go out and make a difference. Congratulations, graduates.
As our ceremony draws to a close, we invite all who are able to stand to sing the alma mater, the lyrics of which can be found in your Convocation program. Prior to closing remarks, we'd like to ask you, as parents, family, and special guests, to stay where you are until all faculty and graduates have left the hall. This will help ensure that everyone has a chance to find their graduates in a timely fashion. We sincerely thank you for this. And we now invite Reverend Lewis to offer closing remarks.
Friends, I offer this blessing with words from Irish and New Thought traditions in the hope that our graduates and all of us will learn from each other and appreciate the things that we have in common. So, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields. May the Creator's light surround you. May Creator's love enfold you. May Creator's power protect you. May Creator's presence watch over you and your loved ones, now and always.